from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hello, good morning. It is Thursday, March 7th.
That's right. Happy Thursday, almost Friday, and almost spring break for a lot of kiddos out there.
Let's check in with Mia Montgomery in for Justin. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. Yeah, it is definitely a muggy start to this Thursday. We've had fog develop out there and even a little bit of drizzle, making for a damp morning commute in a few spots. Let's take a look at Authority radar right now, what we're looking at when it comes to some of that notable drizzle in between Rio Medina and Castroville out there in eastern Medina County, right near the Highway 90 corridor. Also western Bexar County seeing a little bit of that light rain, a few sprinkles. That continues even up 281 closer to the Bulverde area, moving into parts of Comal County. So we'll monitor for a few sprinkles as we continue on throughout the remainder of the morning. You can see where we still do have some of that fog and lowered visibility closer to Hondo as well as Castroville. That does stretch up into portions of the hill country as well. The fog will get better, but generally we are expecting kind of a gloomy day out there. More cloud cover expected and that 20% potential for a few more sprinkles even into the afternoon as well. 75, the forecast high temperature by about 4 p.m. Winds out of the south-southeast, a little breezy, 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting upwards of 20. Now, as we head into the overnight, it's possible that we see an isolated storm or two develop across portions of the hill country. Into Friday, a stray morning shower tomorrow, then clearing, sunshine returns, temperatures crank up as we see some lower humidity punch back in. That's going to lead to a nice weekend. A cold front arrives tomorrow night, making for a cooler start to spring break for many. We're going to time out all of those details coming up in just a few. But first, let's send things over to RJ. How are the roads looking this morning?
All right, Mia, it's been pretty busy over the past hour or so, but we're starting to see things clear out in our area. 37 at Goliad, we had a crash reported in this area. You saw some of the TxDOT Hero trucks there. So it looks like they're about to clear this out, which is good news because we were backing things up all the way past Southeast Military. So you do see this is all of our traffic going up to Pecan Valley, 37 northbound at Goliad Road. But it looks like we're about to get that cleared out here in just a bit. Let's take you to the northwest side. We have a stalled vehicle being reported at 410 westbound there at Evers Road. But traffic is starting to move through this area right here. We saw traffic backed up past Bandera Road a little bit earlier. So that's good news for our drivers on the northwest. And the far northwest side, we have a crash being reported Kyle Seal Parkway at West Hausman Road. So this is going to be off the highway here. But again, a lot of people usually use Kyle Seal and West Hausman to get around the area, especially if you're around the Brandeis area and the UTSA area as well. Hopefully we can get that cleared out in just a bit. All right, speaking of high school action, hey, we're going to have some hoops at the Dome today. As a matter of fact, they're already starting play. They started at 8:30 this morning. The UIL Boys State Tournament taking place right here at the Alamo Dome. And you may see some TransGuide signs up saying that parking is limited because we're going to have a lot of action, a lot of people from outside the area coming in from the States as we get set for this big boys tournament. So want to let you know about a couple of city parking lots that you can use if you need to get to the Dome. We have the Martinez lot right here at Cesar Chavez at South Alamo. And then we have the Alamo lot right there on South Alamo as well. And of course, the Convention Center lot right there on East Market Street. So all those lots are the closest to the Dome. And again, it's going to be an action-packed day today for the UIL Boys State Tournament that's taking place. We have a shot of the Alamo Dome right there. So traffic looking pretty good. Again, action has just started there in that area. Cole is going to be playing at 3 o'clock. Yes, Shaquille O'Neal, proud alumni, Cole Cougars, and Veterans Memorial is going to be taking the courts at 7. So a couple of local teams to cheer for today at the UIL Boys State Tournament. Mark and Steph, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ.
Let's look at today's 9 at 9.
President Biden will deliver his State of the Union address tonight. This year's address aims to lay out an agenda that he can quickly take out on the campaign trail. Some of the items include protecting the Affordable Care Act, expanding efforts to relieve student debt, and housing costs.
Washington seems on track to avoid a partial government shutdown tomorrow, but a second budget deadline this month could be more difficult to meet. Today, the Senate is taking up a package of 6 spending bills that cleared the House yesterday. They fund the Departments of Commerce, Justice, Veterans Affairs, Interior, Transportation, and more through the end of September.
The Federal Reserve is in no rush to cut interest rates. That's according to Fed Chair Jerome Powell. That means more pain for Americans. Powell said while inflation has slowed down a lot over the last year, the economic outlook is uncertain, and reaching the Federal Reserve's 2% inflation goal is not guaranteed.
Fewer people are quitting their jobs. The federal government found the number of people quitting was just 2.1% in January. That is the lowest reading since August of 2020. Hiring activity and the number of available jobs continue to ease from the record high levels reached during the pandemic recovery. Layoffs dipped too.
Opening arguments begin today in the James Crumbley manslaughter trial. He's the father of Ethan Crumbley, who killed 4 students at a Michigan high school in 2021. James is accused of making the gun accessible to his son and not getting a mental health treatment. His wife was found guilty on 4 manslaughter charges in the same incident last month.
If you have ground cinnamon at home, make sure it's not part of this recall. The FDA says several brands of ground cinnamon contained high levels of lead, including some sold at La Fiesta. The other brands include Markham, MTCI, Swad, Supreme Tradition, and El Chilar.
The spring break travel period starts today. TSA considers spring break travel between March 7th and March 25th, so it'll be a busy few weeks at airports across the U.S. TSA says so far this year is on track to top last year's record.
Delta Airlines has raised the cost of checked bags by $5. The first bag on domestic flights will be $35, and additional bags will be $45 each. The increase does not come out of the clear blue sky. Both United and American Airlines increased their baggage fees last month, but this is something Delta hasn't done since 2018.
The SAT exam will be fully digital beginning this weekend. The college admissions test will be on a computer, but students still have to take it at a testing site. The exam is also about an hour shorter than the worksheet version, and students will get their results back in a few days instead of a few weeks. And that's today's 9 at 9. This afternoon, the Uvalde City Council is having a special meeting to hear the results of an independent investigation into its police department's response to the Robb Elementary School shooting.
The investigation was called by then Mayor Don McLaughlin back in July of 2022. And as Lee Waldman reports, it's taken over a year and a half to complete, and it comes after that damning report by the Department of Justice.
I can't begin to imagine my son, who had just turned 10 2 weeks prior, what he went through.
Oscar Arona's son, Noah, is nearly 2 years older now, but is still dealing with the physical effects of a gunshot wound to his shoulder and the mental trauma of being trapped with a gunman for 77 minutes inside his 4th grade classroom.
What he's going to have to deal for the rest of his life.
Noah is one of the handful of survivors from classroom 112. His parents have joined others in calling for accountability following the May 24th tragedy at Robb Elementary School that left 21 dead. Oscar is eager to see what's included in today's independent investigative report into the Uvalde Police Department's actions on that day.
I'm curious to see what the city's response is going to be to it now, because as far as I know, I don't think they've taken responsibility for anything.
The report, started in July 2022 by an Austin area investigator, was initiated by then Mayor Don McLaughlin, who estimated it would take between 60 and 90 days to complete. 9 months later, it's finally done. We asked McLaughlin on Super Tuesday about the report's upcoming release.
It's been too long coming. We've been blocked, as you know, from the district attorney. We've had to sue her twice when I was mayor.
The lawsuits he mentioned were filed initially in December 2022 and again in August 2023. At the time, McLaughlin said Uvalde's district attorney, Christina Mitchell, was withholding information from the independent investigator, Jesse Prado, and he called the whole situation a cover-up.
From the smallest to the largest, we need to come clean, lay the cards on the table, and hopefully we can find what mistakes we made and keep it from happening somewhere else.
While we don't know what will be inside today's report, we know the Uvalde City Council will hear from the Uvalde people after it's presented. Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Now, Lee will be in Uvalde for today's special city council meeting. On the agenda, we know the council will start things out in executive session.
After hearing public comment, it will make a decision about the attorney-client privilege the police department holds with regards to that report. We will continue to keep you updated throughout the day.
Meanwhile, the sister of one of the Robb Elementary victims will be a guest tonight at the State of the Union address. Jasmine Casares is the older sister of Jackie Casares and has become a leading advocate for gun violence prevention at the state and national levels since her sister was killed. First Lady Jill Biden invited multiple guests to join her in the viewing box for the president's address this evening. The White House says Jasmine was on the list because she is among those that personify issues that will be addressed in President Biden's speech.
Also happening today, a change of venue hearing in the case of ex-SAPD officer James Brennan. Back in 2022, Brennan shot Eric Cantu, who was 17 years old at the time, outside a McDonald's parking lot after identifying Cantu's vehicle from an evading arrest case. Now, Brennan's attorneys believe he would not get a fair trial in Bexar County after remarks Police Chief William McManus and Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez made after that incident. Earlier this week, a judge ordered all communications between the DA's office and the criminal reform group, the Rain Collective, be turned over to the defense regarding the case. 437th District Court Judge Joel Perez is expected to rule on the change of venue later this afternoon after the hearing. We will be live streaming the proceedings today, beginning around 10 a.m. You can watch it live on our website, KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, or KSAT's YouTube page.
All right, guys, just jumping back on here real quick because we just have a crash that we're looking at here. 281 southbound at the quarry. So this is going to be right before the Bassey Road exit. At least 2 main lanes blocked on the left-hand side there. We have fire crews on the scene, but traffic is being backed up there in 281 south all the way past Jones-Maltzberger, past Sunset Road, as a matter of fact, getting up close to 281 and near the airport area. So we'll continue to monitor, and if we have to give you more updates, we will get back on here. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
We know you will. Thank you, RJ. Right now, 9:09, 69 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Well, there's a possible pay raise for San Antonio City Council members, but the suggested pay range is shocking some, including council members themselves.
Less grieving families who say they're out thousands of dollars. 6 more families have come forward saying they've paid a company for headstones they never received. Courtney Friedman has been following this story for months now. When we come back, she tells us who is now investigating.
Welcome back. It's 9:13. Let's look out there with live cam. Not very spring breaky this morning with the humidity, but maybe this weekend.
Yeah, maybe this weekend. It's looking pretty good out there and cooler for a lot of folks as they get ready to kick off those spring break plans. But yes, it is very humid out there early this Thursday morning. And because of that humidity, we do have some patchy fog as well as a little bit of drizzle that has popped up, especially across western Bexar County in between 410 as well as 1604 near SeaWorld, as well as Alamo Ranch. Got a little bit of drizzle heading north too. That also continues closer to Lacoste and into far eastern Medina County. And we've seen a few more sprinkles that have popped up on authority radar, mainly north of San Antonio, passing through the Bulverde area near Smithson Valley, just to the west of Canyon Lake. That continues to work its way farther northward as well. We will keep a 20% potential in the forecast for a little bit more drizzle this morning, maybe a few sprinkles as we head into the afternoon. We've been talking about that humidity. Take a look at dew points right now in the 60s for most of us, very much in that muggy category. In some spots, that's about 28 degrees higher than where we were this time yesterday. What does that mean? You can feel the moisture when you do step outside this morning, and that humidity is not going anywhere today. It will stick with us into the afternoon, but it will start to go away into Friday as we see a quick boundary move through tomorrow morning. Drier air is going to punch in by Friday afternoon, helping those temperatures crank up into the 80s. Then we are expecting that low humidity to continue into the upcoming weekend. It will be very comfortable out there before some of that moisture starts to return into early next week. So here's what that looks like when it comes to your future cast. Again, by noon, a few more isolated spots of light rain certainly possible. That does carry over into this afternoon. Notice cloud cover for the most part is generally going to stick with us. Watch what happens though as we head into the overnight, as we start to see a dry line approach from the west after midnight and between about midnight to 2 a.m. What we'll need to monitor is for the potential to find an isolated storm or two develop across portions of the southern Edwards Plateau and moving into parts of the hill country. Now, with what we've seen as of the latest guidance here, a lot of this storm activity looks to have been shifted just farther up to the north, but still for places like Kerrville, Lakey, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg, isolated strong storm not completely ruled out. We'll keep an isolated potential here in San Antonio for a quick shower first thing tomorrow morning before that boundary moves through. Plenty of sunshine returns into your Friday afternoon. I did mention the potential for a stronger storm, potentially even a severe storm as we sleep tonight, mainly across portions of the hill country. As of the latest trends in from the Storm Prediction Center, most of that threat has been shifted farther to the north near San Angelo, Abilene, even DFW, but we will continue to keep eyes on it for our friends up that way. Main things to monitor would be hail and gusty winds if a storm did require a little bit of extra attention. Again, odds are currently lower for us here in south central Texas. Until then, cloud cover in place right now. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Right around 70 degrees is where we'll sit on the thermometers for any lunchtime plans. High temperatures topping off right around 75 in the Alamo City. Again, the cloud cover continuing. Winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Most of us topping off in the 70s later on today. A little bit cooler the farther north and east that you go. A little bit warmer the farther south and west. As we head into your Friday, again, warmer, 83 degrees with that low humidity as well as the sunshine returning into the afternoon. Then here comes that cold front Friday night. It will be windy on Saturday, but take a look at those temperatures. Cooler in the mornings, very pleasant into the afternoons with highs in the 60s, all as we get ready to spring those clocks forward an hour Saturday night and early Sunday. So we'll talk more about that and break down that cold front coming up in the next half hour, guys.
Thank you, Mia. First, they lost loved ones. Then they say they lost thousands of dollars.
We have learned even more families paid a company for headstones they say they never received. That company is Angelic Monuments.
6 families told us they paid up front for their loved ones' headstones, but they never got them, and they haven't been able to find the owner of the company, Elena Moreno.
After our first story aired last month, several other families contacted us, and as Courtney Friedman reports, now police and the Better Business Bureau are getting involved.
It hurts to go and visit him, and he has no stone.
Veronica Sanchez lost her father September 2022. In February 2023, she ordered him a headstone through the company Angelic Monuments.
Sketching this the way we wanted it.
So this is what it was supposed to look like.
And this is what it's supposed to look like.
But she never got it. Sanchez is one of 6 new families who contacted KSAT about their loved ones' headstones. One person bought the stone for herself as preparation. This after we reported 2 weeks ago about 6 other families who say they paid for their loved ones' headstones and never received them. Through paperwork, KSAT confirmed the new families that came forward spent a combined total of almost $15,000. Adding that to the more than $26,000 the first group of 6 families paid, that grand total is around $40,000. Angelic Monuments was run by Elena Moreno, who these families say has stopped returning calls and emails. Though she had deleted her Facebook page, it looks like it's back up and running. It also looks like she now has a TikTok page that's active. I tried to get a hold of her in every way possible, and we still have not received a response. What we've learned since that first story is that Moreno contacted Sanchez, giving her a new phone number and the address to what she called her new business location on Commercial Avenue.
I called her. She never answered.
We went there too during business hours.
It's locked. Yeah, it should be open.
The business name on the door offers life insurance and funeral services. It's owned by another woman. We blurred the business name because we don't know how closely she works with Moreno, if at all, but we could not get a hold of her either.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, Elena. This is Courtney Friedman with KSAT 12 News. Just giving you a call again.
Several families filed claims with the Better Business Bureau, which has now opened an official investigation.
When we first talked to you for our first story, there had not been an official investigation launched. So what changed?
It was prompted by the large volume of responses, complaints, reviews, in response to the story on KSAT as well.
BBB Senior Director of Media Relations Jason Meza says the investigation could take weeks or months.
Everything we find with redacted information we present on our public profile.
Basically a warning to other potential customers, but they will also turn their results over to law enforcement. If that message reaches SAPD, they'll already be familiar with the information. 4 families have already filed police reports against Moreno. SAPD confirms 2 of those are written as felony theft, over $2,500. The other 2 are being deemed civil complaints.
And I'm going to continue to fight until I recover my dad's stone or my money. No families should be going through this.
SAPD has confirmed their property theft detectives are actively investigating these cases. They say if they do collect enough evidence, it's possible a warrant could be issued.
Elena Moreno, though, right now has no criminal charges against her, and KSAT can find no reports of any criminal record. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Courtney Friedman.
Thank you, Courtney. 921, 68 degrees.
Let's look out there with TransGuide. Now, earlier we were talking about an accident there at Highway 281 at the quarry. It looks like it cleared up and things are moving right now. So that's good news for drivers in this area. We'll be right back.
924, a small business owner says CPS Energy crews drove on an unfinished driveway, destroying thousands of dollars in rebar and delaying the project for weeks. But like hundreds of other claims, the utility company the past year, Cameron Shelley's claim was denied.
His was denied without an explanation. And KSAT Investigates Dylan Collier digs into CPS Energy's high denial rate.
Cameron Shelley says his construction company can handle pretty much anything involving the ground. Late last year, as his crew readied to pour a driveway for a new house off Casey Road in Bulverde, CPS Energy contacted the homeowner and said they needed to install power to the property. The homeowner told the utility,
"We've got our driveway being poured. There's already rebar down."
CPS showed up anyways, and while Shelley says utility employees were at first careful to avoid the unpoured driveway, they eventually drove on it to access the side of the house. The tangled mess of broken rebar was captured in pictures, including this one, also showing 2 CPS Energy trucks.
Everything that had been done up to that point was going to need to be redone.
The incident caused the driveway project to be delayed for 2.5 weeks. Shelley says the CPS workers also gave conflicting stories, telling a claims adjuster it wasn't them, but admitting to his crew that they had caused the damage, and their employer would cover the $2,500 cost to replace the materials.
CPS will take care of it. Don't worry about it.
So have they taken care of it in your case?
No.
Months after the ordeal, Shelley says he received this voicemail from a blocked number.
After our investigation, it was determined that CPS Energy is not liable for any additional work or expenses in connection with your claim. Therefore, your claim is respectfully denied.
Shelley says his follow-up calls have gone unanswered. Records obtained by KSAT Investigates show from February of last year to the end of January this year, the utility received 412 claims seeking possible reimbursement for damages caused by CPS Energy crews or infrastructure. 293 were denied. 81 were still pending at the time of our request. CPS has agreed to pay out damages in only 38 of them, less than 10%. The total amount, just north of $86,000.
And it's blatantly clear that you did that amount of damage to the driveway. Why there would be any question of, at least paying or compensation for the fixing of the damages.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Now, Dylan says CPS Energy declined to make President and CEO Rudy Garza available for an interview for this story.
They told him they would not be releasing additional information on Shelley's claim or their high denial rate.
927, 68 degrees. More ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a possible salary raise for San Antonio City Council members that's raising some concern from those who could benefit from it. What some council members are concerned about and how San Antonio residents would have a say.
Plus, some changes being made for new flu vaccines, why experts are recommending a change in the formula, and how it has to do with COVID.
Welcome back. It's 9:31. Well, if you are a woman interested in becoming a police officer, the San Antonio Police Department will be hosting a free event for you next weekend.
Right now, women make up less than a fifth of the police force, so SAPD is trying to increase those numbers. Our Max Massey spent a few hours at SAPD's training facility yesterday to show us what these recruits can expect next weekend.
I'm a social butterfly, so why not help the community as well as meet a bunch of people, build connections, and for the department, lifelong friends.
Officer Anya Ragoni moved to San Antonio in 2019. That's when she joined the academy. And SAPD, they're looking for more officers like Anya.
334 officers and 30 in leadership roles.
Even though the numbers look good at first glance, the Women in Policing recruitment event, it's aimed at bringing in more.
The ultimate goal is the chief did sign the 30 by 30 initiative. That is to get 30% females on the department by 2030. Right now, San Antonio Police is at 13.8%. We are very close to 14%. Nationwide, it's at 12%.
Now, the targeted recruitment, it's aimed at more effective policing and community engagement.
The community does view women as more honest and more compassionate.
And events like this, set for March 16th, they've proven effective in the past.
Females that feel scared, nervous, don't know what they're coming into, this event is perfect to break any barriers, answer any questions they might have. That way they're more comfortable applying and being a part of the department.
At worst, it'll be a fun weekend workout.
We partnered with Alpha Warriors, who will be making our event, and they're actually going to be putting all the participants through a workout.
And if it all works out, it might just change lives.
Honestly, whether it's on the department, out in the community, it's the relationships you're going to build, their lifelong relationships.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
So here's the information for next weekend's event. It will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 16th at San Antonio Police Academy off of Loop 410 and Pleasanton Road. You do need to register for the event beforehand, so you can find a link to do that on our website at ksat.com.
Outside with live cam, about 70 degrees, lots of clouds out there, plenty of humidity. And as we were saying on the early edition of the morning show, Mia, the wildflowers around here could use a drink.
They certainly could, yeah, but I wish that we had better news when it comes to more widespread measurable rain through the overnight, but we will be monitoring for a few isolated storms as we sleep, maybe a stray lingering shower first thing tomorrow, and then we clear things out heading into the upcoming weekend. More on that in just a bit. Let's take a look at our pollen count for this Thursday. Justin, Oak is still moderate. Hackberry does drop, though, into the low category compared to where it was yesterday. Mold, hackberry, and mulberry are present, but they are low. We do have a little bit of light rain still floating across the western portions of Bexar County and into eastern Medina County, near places like Castroville, Rio Medina, SeaWorld, Helotes as well, right along Loop 1604 on the far northwest side. That is all working in from the south and pushing farther up to the north. That will be the theme this morning and into the afternoon. Just a few sprinkles possible, a 20% chance. High temperatures in the mid 70s by 4 p.m. and then gradually falling into the upper 60s later on tonight. Again, a very stray shower possible first thing tomorrow. Then we see the sunshine return. Temperatures crank up into the low 80s Friday afternoon. Then here comes our cold front Friday night, setting us up for a cooler and nice weekend. Chilly mornings in the 40s, highs in the comfortable 60s. It will be windy on Saturday as well. So we're going to talk more in depth about that coming up a little bit later on, guys.
Thanks, Mia. There are discussions happening about whether San Antonio City Council members should get six-figure salaries. The possibility being considered by the Charter Review Commission, assembled by Mayor Ron Nirenberg. And while the commission hasn't settled on the amount to recommend, Garrett Berger tells us the talk of pay raises is raising eyebrows, including on the council itself.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our city council meeting.
The same for nearly 9 years now, San Antonio council member pay isn't going to make anyone rich. Many members continue to work at least part-time off the dais, and the salary was one reason a recent councilwoman left office early. But what should they get is a question bound to get sharp opinions.
We're a city where many of our household incomes struggle. We know that.
Current council salaries were based off the area median income when they were set back in 2015. Before that, it was just $20 a meeting. This time around, a preliminary recommendation is to choose a group of people to base council's pay on, and then adjust periodically. The group a working committee chose as an example was director-level city employees. Even at a portion of that group's median income, the council and mayor's salaries could go as high as $125,000 or $140,000.
We talked with 5 council members to get their thoughts. Most of them thought that example was a bit high.
It should shock the conscience. It really should shock the conscience.
While Manny Pelaez, who's mulling a run for mayor, said no raise was needed, some, like Terry Castillo, thought a smaller bump would be more appropriate.
It's fair to look at the city leadership pay, but I do believe looking at what the average city of San Antonio resident is earning and evaluating from there would be a great start.
District 3 Councilwoman Phyllis Villagran had a very different take. She said in a statement that council members put in 60-hour work weeks and the pay should be closer to what county commissioners make. Currently, they're even further into the six-figure range. The commission's final recommendations aren't due to the full council until June. And even if council members put it onto the ballot, it will be up to San Antonio voters whether any change makes it through. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
In your other morning headlines, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey has signed into law a bill aimed at protecting in vitro fertilization patients and providers from legal liability. This comes as some clinics are poised to lift a hold on certain IVF services following last month's Alabama Supreme Court ruling that said frozen embryos are human beings and those who destroy them can be held liable for wrongful death.
Critics say the bill does not address the broader issue of the Supreme Court's definition of an embryo. So two of the fertility clinics which paused IVF treatments say they will resume care as soon as tomorrow.
Okay, take a look at this. Police chase out in California caught on camera. A suspect driving a stolen Lowe's truck, weaving in and out of traffic, driving the wrong way and hitting several spots before coming to an end 2 hours later. The chase started in West LA and ended over 60 miles away in Ventura, California.
So that driver almost hit several vehicles along the way. Police were able to catch up to the suspect and deploy a spike strip that stopped the vehicle, but that didn't stop the man from trying to run away.
He came at me as I left Silva's gas station. He was on the wrong side of the road driving like a maniac.
Our officers were able to successfully deploy a spike strip and spike the left front tire of the vehicle.
So police eventually tackled the suspect to the ground and arrested him.
For the past decade, people have had access to flu shots protecting against 4 strains of the virus. But now, a panel of experts is recommending to the FDA that next season's flu shots have a different formula.
Well, CNN's Mandy Gaither explains the differences between the formulas and how COVID-19 helped bring about this change.
Dr. Badzik, yes. Dr. Berger, yes.
It was unanimous. A panel of experts who advised the FDA voted to recommend a new flu shot formula this fall.
I personally think that there's a lot of opportunity to leverage this to rebuild trust within the community, especially those who, are those that are vaccine hesitant, showing that, that vaccination isn't just to put more things in individuals' arms, but also just to address the current circulating strain.
Right now, flu shots in the U.S. protect against 2 A strains and 2 B strains of the virus, but the next vaccines will offer protection for just 3 strains, as one of the B strains from the Yamagata family hasn't been detected in testing since March 2020. Viruses from this strain were already in decline before the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's believed that precautions people took to avoid the coronavirus finished them off. The FDA is now working with flu shot manufacturers to get the Yamagata strain out of U.S. vaccines in time for the upcoming flu season.
And approval of all the necessary regulatory submissions is on track for a 2024-25 PIV implementation for all licensed U.S. influenza vaccine manufacturers.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
9:40, 69 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Spring break is coming up, and it's time to do some spring cleaning. When we come back, we'll look at some of the best deals to score during the month of March.
Get ready to snap up bargains on luggage, grills, and garden tools. Those are just a few of the things you'll find big savings on in March. Deal News recently rounded up the best places to find the savings in the month, and you can start with travel gear. Deal News says look for smaller items like drawstring bags for as little as $11. And if you're looking for bigger luggage pieces, you could see some from Samsonite for less than $80. Travel accessories are also expected to be on sale this month. Look for savings on winter clothing. Macy's discounted items could offer promotions knocking off at least 60% off some jackets and coats. And last year, Calvin Klein cut 70% off men's outerwear. With spring approaching, now may be the time to save on a grill. While the best savings generally happen in September and October, March last year saw more than a dozen deals on grills. And tools for the garden may start appearing this month. Look for savings on rakes and sprinklers. With spring cleaning season just ahead, watch for savings on vacuum cleaners. Deal News says check eBay, Home Depot, and Hoover for promotions. For more on where to find bargains in March, check out the full story at dealnews.com.
Something else people are shopping for lately, essential supplies like this.
Spring allergies.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So again, we've got oak that's moderate. That showed up past couple of weeks. That's going to continue into early May.
Right.
So yeah, I imagine a lot of folks have been grabbing the tissues lately. Slide it over. But yes, so it has also been a very dreary start to the day. Not only are we having to deal with some pollens out there, but also the humidity. So let's take you back outside again. We've got the cloud cover in place. A bit of a dreary start to this Thursday. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, depending on where you are. 68 here in town, 71 for places like New Braunfels and Seguin. Kerrville sitting at 67, Bernie at 64. Again, the humidity you can see on the right-hand side is up. About a 20-degree temperature spread from one side of the Lone Star State to the other. 79 in Brownsville, 59 in Amarillo. We're sitting in the middle of that here in the Alamo City. Currently 62 over in San Angelo. But as we zoom this out and take a look farther up to the north and the west, check out the Pacific Northwest, below freezing this morning. 30 degrees right now in Seattle, 25 in Boise, Idaho, 52 over in Las Vegas. That is where we will find this big area of low pressure that's going to be approaching the Four Corners region here throughout the remainder of the day. This essentially is going to be the catalyst behind pushing this next cold front into south central Texas as we head into the evening hours tomorrow. Before we can get there, it starts to approach the Texas Panhandle as we sleep tonight. A little boundary sets up in far western Texas, so can't completely rule out that isolated storm potential across portions of the hill country that we were talking about a little bit earlier. But then as that starts to work its way up into the Midwest, we'll see that front push through south central Texas later in the day tomorrow. Behind it, winds shift in from the north. We start to see more of that cooler and drier air filter in for the upcoming weekend. And it does so via a gusty north wind. Tomorrow, I think we could see a few wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour. It will be a little breezy out there, but it's as we sleep Friday night and into early Saturday where we're really going to start to see those north winds pick up, upwards of 35 miles per hour possible, maybe even a few gusts closer to 40 miles per hour possible. So just know that it will be a windy start to the weekend. But other than that, really nice out there. That lower humidity, drier air punching back in. Check out your morning lows back in the mid 40s, so about 20 degrees cooler than where we were this morning. You will want the jacket stepping out early Saturday and Sunday, but into the afternoons, very nice. High temperatures topping off in the mid 60s, which actually is a little bit cooler for this time of year compared to the average. Now, until then, of course, we are still dealing with that mugginess out there. Again, temperatures on the warmer side. We are still monitoring some fog and some drizzle, especially across western Bexar County, closer to the Castroville area in eastern Medina County. Some of that does stretch up into portions of the hill country there too. Generally, the cloud cover is going to be with us into the afternoon. 70 degrees at noon, a 20% chance for a few sprinkles out there, high temperatures in the mid 70s. And then if you're stepping out for any evening plans, 72 at 6 p.m., falling into the upper 60s later on this evening by about 8 to 9 o'clock. So we'll monitor for that isolated storm chance northwest of San Antonio tonight. Odds are still pretty low there. A nice weekend on tap. Spring forward, by the way. Daylight saving time officially begins 2 a.m. Sunday morning. You can see what that's going to do to our sunrise and sunset time. Saturday, sunrise 6:49, sunset 6:39. That will be an hour later as we head into Sunday.
At least some of the kiddos get a little buffer with spring break on the sleeping.
It's always nice how that kind of matches up together. I feel like that definitely helps.
Happy accidents.
Yeah. Thank you, Mia.
Of course.
It's game day for the San Antonio Spurs. They're taking on the Sacramento Kings tonight, 9 p.m. our time. But they will do without Wemby. He's out with a right ankle sprain. We'll have a recap of the game coming up tomorrow morning.
Time now 9:49 and 69 degrees for now.
Oscars are Sunday, and there's a new premiere time. That will make Texans very happy. We'll also take a look at who's in the running for the gold statue.
Welcome back. It's 9:53. Well, a museum has a new exhibit that's out of this world and just in time for spring break. So tomorrow on GMSA at 9, Tiffany Huertas is going to take us inside the space exploration exhibit, which explores real NASA artifacts and shows us the real realities of life in space. So tune in for that story tomorrow on GMSA at 9.
We are counting down to the Oscars now, just 3 days away.
ABC's Danny New gives us a look at 3 of the biggest awards.
Oppenheimer. Now that Oppenheimer has won Best Film at the British equivalent to the Oscars, known as the BAFTAs.
Oppenheimer.
And Best Ensemble at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, it seems pretty clear that Christopher Nolan's blockbuster biopic is going to win Best Picture at the Oscars this Sunday. In fact,
Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer.
With Cillian Murphy winning Best Actor on both of those nights, the man who played Dr. Oppenheimer is poised to also run away with the Golden Statue.
Emma Stone, Poor Things.
But what about Best Actress? After what seems like a million Fafillion award shows, there doesn't seem to be any separation between Emma Stone for Poor Things, seen here winning at the BAFTAs,
Lily Gladstone.
And Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, who won the Screen Actors Guild Award 6 days later. So which of these 2 awards is the better indicator? Well, in the last 10 years, the BAFTAs and the SAG Awards are each 8 for 10 in matching up with the Best Actress winner at the Oscars.
The winner, it's a tie.
Thus, is it possible that Stone and Gladstone could tie? Well, there have been just 6 in nearly a century of Oscars.
Hello, gorgeous.
But the most famous example was in the same category, with Barbra Streisand tying Katharine Hepburn back in 1969. So who knows, maybe we're nearing tie number 7. Speaking of number 7, if you want to see how this all plays out, Oscars host Jimmy Kimmel really wants you to remember 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
If you don't remember that we have daylight saving time on Sunday and that the show is an hour earlier than it always has been, you will miss my monologues. That is, I think, the big X factor going into this particular show. Will people miss the whole first hour of it?
To reiterate what Mr. Kimmel was saying, yes, the Oscars usually start at 8 p.m. Eastern, but this year, 7 p.m. We might actually be awake for Best Picture this year. 7 p.m. finally. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
On East Coast time, Mr. New.
That's right. We'll still have to stay up a little late. Well, many of us recognize the old phrase, always a bridesmaid, never the bride, and the Academy Awards has quite a few notorious bridesmaids, Hollywood stars who are often nominated but haven't taken home a gold statue yet.
Some of the top ones include Mark Ruffalo, who's up for his 4th Oscar this year, nominated for supporting actor in Poor Things. Then there's Christopher Nolan's had 8 nominations, 3 of them now being for Oppenheimer.
And Bradley Cooper now has 12 nominations thus far without a win.
I could totally see the tie thing happening in at least one category this year.
I think so. I think you're right. And it'll be interesting that's a little tiny bit earlier. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day.